All right. What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Man to Man podcast, a new podcast. You may recognize me from Better Self. I'm Nick Salmon. I got my boy here, Spartacus Fortune. You may know him as Sparty, another dating coach, awesome guy. So we decided to come together, and Sparty's going to tell you a little bit about what our goal and our mission is for this overall podcast.
Nick and I teamed up, and I recently called Nick and I said, "Hey, man, we got to hop on a podcast. We gotta crush it. We've Our goal is really we want to help other men dominate their paths and accomplish their missions, go through the battles of life. It's not easy being a man. It's tough to be a man in today's world, and just talking about how we can be the best versions of ourselves, be the most dominant members of our group, and excel against all competition. So super excited. We've both been through numerous experiences in our lives that we think that we can help portray other people and help them move on their path to greater and better things. So hope to be a part of that with everyone and super excited with the opportunity.
Yeah, that's spot on, man. And I think it's the same thing for me. And it's being able to kind of just each one teach one, man, sort of lifts everyone up with us. And it's, obviously like I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, we're both rooted in our faith, and we kind of want to like be able to center ourselves around that in serving. You know what I mean? We're both coaches, we both love people, we both had a bigger why into giving back and helping others. So that's kind of what we're coming together to really combine, our communities and continue to grow it from that aspect and try and help as many young men, old men, just in general. So that's gonna be huge. But dude, so I mean, we first met like 3.5 years ago. I was going through one of the worst breakups ever, and I found you on YouTube, and I'm like, it's funny. I tell you this all the time still, like, and we became really good friends, obviously. And I'm like, man, fuck this dude. Like, this dude's gonna light me up if I talk to him. Uh, Sparty, you turn out to be the most authentic, genuine dude. You still to this day remember shit that I told you back then. I'm like, dude, my like some of my best friends don't even remember some of the stuff that I tell you. Know what I mean? It's like you always know. It's like, yeah, man, super blessed and just excited to see like the journey of friendship and then now obviously combining businesses is amazing.
Yeah, I know it's crazy to think about where you were 3.5 years ago and even where I was 3.5 years ago. And I remember when I first got the call, you were different. I could sense something was different about you. And a lot of the people that I personally have coached in my past, they just are looking for quick fixes on relationships and how can I get my girl to love me or how can I get my girl back or whatever. But you were coming from a standpoint of I'm going to take ownership for my actions. I want to be the best self that I can be. And I just knew internally that you are a strong individual and you don't get a lot of people like that nowadays. I think a lot of with this world between social media, they don't want to take accountability for their faults. And I think that's a personally in masculinity, that's not good. I don't think it's helpful. I think you got to take some self responsibility. I think you got to take ownership for your actions. And without that, you're just going to maintain your whole life. You want to keep climbing the mountain. You want to keep growing each and every day. And once you get to the top, eventually you get to the top of the mountain. Once you get to the top, you want to stay at the top of the mountain. So it's about the journey to getting there, but it's also maintaining at the top as well. So that's something that I noticed in you. You've had a lot of challenges between with everything in life, between deaths and families and or friends and all those things. And but you've overcome. The constant battle is you continuously overcome no matter how shitty things are. So that's what I've always respected about you, and I'm super happy about what's going on moving forward.
Well, dude, I appreciate the kind words so much, man. Obviously, I saw a lot in you as well, and we were able to just gel together. And then, as lives have kind of happened, and we've kind of like learned, and we've kind of been there through what the things that you've been dealing with, things that I've been dealing with, and persevering through it, man. We kind of just grow together, and we kind of understand, like, hey, man, we're not the two only guys that are dealing with shit in life, man. We're not the only dudes like getting our asses kicked by life and overcoming in the adversity and perseverance, as you say, man. It's innate at certain times, like you're kind of born with it, but you have to learn the hard way, and it hurts. But not everyone has like good role models or people that they could look at. And when I was younger, man, I went on YouTube a lot and I watched Elliot Halls, man, all the time. And that was like I was able to interview him like a couple months ago, and I'm like, it was like surreal, and that's kind of what I want the same it's the same goal on this podcast is be like we could be like that older brother, that one day, if this goes on long enough, that uncle, you know what I mean? And just the role models that people need. And speaking of perseverance and everything, I know you have an amazing quote, and we want to have a quote every single podcast that you guys can take home and really write down and kind of sit on and then let it resonate with you.
Yeah. So the quote is, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And I think that really, really resonates a lot with me because you can't grow without strength, man. You can't grow without a difficult life. So strength comes from enduring challenges. So if you don't have any challenge in your life, if you are born into a rich family and you never had to worry about any robbers in your neighborhood or criminals and everything's been easy and you had security guards and all this shit, everything's been easy going. What do you learn? What do you learn? You don't learn anything. So it takes you down to a hedonistic path where you're just doing drugs. Maybe you spend money on prostitutes and do all this shit, and you don't really have any challenge in your life. But the best men, the ones who are in the best shape, the ones who are the most mentally strong, the ones that are the most emotionally aware, the ones who can problem solve, the ones that lead, the ones that women respect, the ones that are just fantastic masculine figures have gone through fucking shit. They've gone through a bunch of shit. And now they've gone through hard breakups. They have gotten their ass kicked. They have had someone important. Their fathers have died. Their uncles have died. Grandparents, close loved ones have died. They have gone through challenge. And without challenge, they don't build themselves into the man that they become. So while tough times fucking suck, you need to pray for the strength to overcome because a lot of people can lie in the embryo position and just sulk in bed and do nothing, be it sad, and then masturbate and watch Netflix and do nothing. Or you can challenge yourself to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, stand up, get your ass to fucking work, hit the fucking gym, do the things that you need to do to become the best man that you can possibly be. Because you have one of two directions. You can spiral upwards or you can spiral downwards. I prefer to go up. And I think most men want to, and they say they want to, but they don't take action. So if you can just be one of 100, you are at a significant advantage versus most other people. Plain and simple. So challenge is what's going to force you to grow. Challenge is what becomes your signature. That's going to create your identity. And if you don't have challenge in your life, if you're born in a rich family, you still have an opportunity to implement challenge in your life. You can try to set goals for yourself in a sense of, okay, I'm going to go into the boxing arena and learn how to box, or I'm going to hit the gym, or I'm going to do some sort of physical strength, or I'm going to go out in the wilderness for a week and try to survive. So there are things that you can do. You just need to have the strength to endure it. So that's why I love this quote.
Dude, it's an amazing quote, and everything that you just said, you knocked it out of the park. I probably don't even need to say it a damn word, but again, I mean, it's that growth is uncomfortable, man. And if it was comfortable, I mean, all of us, there would be no point to this life. There would be no suffering. There'd be no nothing. It would be all pointless. But it's like when you're going through all these hard times, it's like stopping and thinking outside that victim mentality of why is this happening to me? Yada yada yada. It's what the fuck is the lesson in this right now? What is God trying to teach me? You know what I mean? What am I supposed to learn? And if you reframe it to the point of like, I'm building the hardest fucking man that I possibly could build in this life, that's different than being like, I'm a victim. I don't know what to do. So reframing everything that you're going through is so powerful. And once you reframe it to the point where I don't want an easy life, I want a hard life, that teaches me perseverance. And there's a common saying that, I prayed to God to have patience, and God gave me reasons to learn patience. I asked for, safety, and God put me in situations to find safety. And it's all these different things where God doesn't just hand it to you when you ask for it. He teaches you through the lessons, through the storm, and the way that you navigate these things, that's how you grow. That's how you become a different person. And yeah, you just have to have the will to do it. And at any given point, you can take action. like you said, 1 out of 100, that's all you need to be. It has never been easier to be a standout man than it is right now because people are fucking jerking off, watching porn, sitting around binge eating, watching Netflix, chasing the instant dopamine, dude. And all you need
Yeah.
to do is hit the fucking gym, eat right, and find something to pursue, man. A career, a hobby, a passion. Get your hands dirty, man. It's as simple as that.
Bro, you said it perfectly. I mean, everyone is looking for that dopamine hit. Do you know how many people fucking scroll TikTok for 2, 3 hours a day? Do you know what you could fucking do with 2 to 3 hours? You could go to the gym, you could write a book, you could read a book, you could do anything that's just not scrolling TikTok, right? So people are looking for immediate dopamine hits and they go through a tough time and they're like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to go look at Instagram. Dude, I don't even have the Instagram app on my phone. I just don't fucking check it because I know what it does for me. It's toxic. So I think it's so important to endure the challenges of life. And it's funny that not funny, but I think it's important to know that you pray for if you pray for patience, God's going to put you in a position to be patient, right? So he might put in people in your lives that are chaotic, right? And he's going to force you to figure out how to be patient with said person. I remember back, oh God, this must have been like 3 years ago when I first moved to San Diego, maybe 4 years ago. I first moved to San Diego, and I had a client, and we met in person. We went to I don't know how familiar you are with the area, but we went to Encinitas and we had a sit down. And he was just big into Christianity. And one of the things he told me, and I learned a lot from this kid, and I haven't seen him since. I haven't talked to him since, but we had a call, or we talked in person. We're on a walk on the beach, and I'm just trying to clear his head about the mental collapse he's going through at the time. And he says, Sparty, one thing you should pray for is weakness. I'm like, weakness, that's interesting. He's like, no, everyone prays for how can you help me out? Pray for give me strength and everything. Why don't you pray for weakness and see what happens? So that whole night I go home, pray for weakness, and my life turned into shit the next month. Shit just kept going wrong, right? People in my family dying, girl breaks up with me, get cheated on, all this shit. Just all goes downhill for me within a month. And I'm just thinking to myself, this motherfucker told me to pray for this shit. It all goes downhill. I'm sad. I'm not doing well. But it forced me to learn and then grow and develop because my life was going pretty fucking smoothly. I had nothing going wrong. It's drinking on weekends, having fun, hitting on girls, all this shit, right? And then it just goes to shit. And I'm like, I got to overcome this somehow, right? So it challenged me, and it made me grow like crazy, though. It made me grow like crazy, and now I still pray for weakness. So I think it was an important lesson for me to show like God is going to give you challenges, and it's your job to overcome them. And I think He appreciates it too when you ask for a difficult time or ask to to overcome some of the challenges that He puts into your life. So if you pray for I want to find a great wife, for example, he's going to put a lot of shit girls in your life to make you realize that this girl's too toxic, this girl's not patient, this girl's going to nag you, this girl is a cheater. He's going to put in a lot of people into your life to make you go through the pain to realize there's a lot of crap out there, but when you get the special one, treat her right. So every lesson, everything that comes your way is a lesson from God.
Dude, 1000%. It's spot on, and that dude sounds like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Hopefully he's watching. Hopefully he catches one of the podcast episodes. But shit, man, reach out to him. You know what I mean? See what he's got going on. Probably somewhere praying for weakness, honestly. But
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and good for him. He taught me something, and I always love it when someone teaches me something. And another thing, Nick, I think you can learn something from everybody you meet. Every person that you meet in your life can teach you something. Good,
that's
bad,
humility.
evil,
I've always
whatever.
said that. Yep, humility. Not to cut you off, but
It's crazy. It's crazy. And someone, yeah, even if it's a stranger off the fucking street, 5 minute conversation, not even, he can teach you something. And I think That's the beauty of the world. Everyone's different in their own way. They make decisions. Everyone's life trajectory is so fucking different, but they can teach you something, and their lives are different. Than my life is different than yours. You teach me so fucking much, man. You teach me so much, and I'm sure I've taught you some things too. So it's just some of the things you learn are from people that you've met, and you might not even know who they are, and they you learn lessons from them, and then that person who I have no clue, like you're out in Cleveland, I'm in San Diego, someone from Cleveland who I have no recognition of, I don't know exists, taught me something. It's crazy how the world works like that.
It's unbelievable, but you have to be open to it. And that's what the power of like, I mean, we talk about it too, but like energy, frequency, vibration, it's all very, very, very real. And people kind of shut themselves off to it. But you have to be open to the willingness to change. You have to be open to the willingness that I deserve a better life. You know what I mean? I can achieve a better life because I mean, we're all going to fall back to our default pathways and our default settings, which would be, I guess a better way to say it, but it's the best way that I ever saw it like be described was that there's like a thermostat to your life. Like how there's on a hot summer day, there's an AC unit that feels like, oh shit, it's 70 degrees. I got to bring it back to 68 degrees. It's exactly how it is with you. So you're like, I just made $10,000. I need to quickly get rid of this money because I'm only used to having $2,000 in my bank account. We have these default settings where it's like we have our innate, do I deserve this or not deserve this? And you subconsciously feel like I don't deserve this. I'm gonna self-sabotage this. That's where a lot of men can grow. That's where I had to grow, where I was like, man, I do deserve to make a lot of money. I do deserve to have the girl. Despite anything that I've fucking been through, I'm that dude. And I'm not saying that out of like cockiness, and it's a work in progress. I'm not saying I'm that dude as in like I'm the man. I'm just saying like I do deserve that. I do deserve a life that I'm proud of. I do deserve the things that I want. And I feel like everybody really should if it's good. Um, but yeah, I mean, and if you want to respond to that, you're more than welcome, brother. But
Go for it. No, you're good. You're good. I
we
think you said
got,
it perfectly.
so we pretty much, you guys, we are going to be structuring this podcast. Obviously, Sparty and I are going to be shooting the shit. We're going to have topics. We're going to have quotes that you guys can take home, that you guys can sit on. But we also want to take questions from you guys. The biggest thing is that we want to build a community. We're not asking for money for this podcast. We're getting together to collectively help as many people as we possibly can. And we want to take questions from you guys. So we want to answer questions directly from you guys. And we've got three today. And I think the first one's going to be an amazing one for you, Sparty. And it goes, what's your advice for a man who feels stuck in life? Like he's just going through the motions, but deep down he knows he's meant for more.
Yeah. So this is a good question because I think a lot of people get into this. So a lot of people maybe they go to college and they study a field that they are not too passionate about and they get a job and they're just going through the motions, right? And I think one of the things that you have to realize is sometimes you just got to take action. If you want to grow somewhere, if you want to do something with your life that you're not doing, you have to take action towards said goal. So if you want to be an MMA fighter, you have to go to the boxing gym or you got to go kickboxing or you got to learn how to do jiu-jitsu. You have to do something. So I think the biggest thing is taking the first step. So for me, when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't know what I wanted to turn into, but I just had to make a video and post something. All of a sudden you start posting, you kind of create momentum. And once you get the momentum, it becomes easy. It's a second nature. You don't have to do it. It's just ease. So part of it's just getting the first couple steps down, spinning the wheels and going. So once you start getting going, it all comes easy from there. But the key is being consistent and discipline. You do shit over and over and over again. You have self-reliance. You're just going to produce. You're just going to produce, and eventually shit is going to stick for you. It's going to go out the right way.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more, man. Very well said. The second question is, how do you stay consistent with fitness and nutrition when life gets crazy, especially with work, relationships, and stress pulling you in every direction? Um, do you mind if I take that one?
Yeah, go for it, man.
So I feel like I get this question actually pretty often. I mean, this is the biggest thing is when you're kind of caught up in your day to day, you feel like way weighed down and bogged down by so many different things. I mean, especially when you enter marriage, kids, work, like the whole balance of life. I mean, that's like you hear it all the time, work-life balance. But really, like, I mean, in reality, like one of my mentors told me this. He's like, there's no work-life balance. Everybody talks about work-life balance. There's just life. And it's how do you implement the things? And I have this theory, and I teach my clients the same thing, is that small incremental changes render massive results. And it's 80-20 approach, kind of 75-25 if it's not as crazy, but 75%, 80% actions and lifestyle that are in accordance to your goals. 20-25% fuck off, have a good time, enjoy life, eat the foods, whatever, go out to eat, drink, whatever. But it depends on your clarity. What is it that you really want? All of us are going to go through different phases in life. Your mom may be sick. She may have cancer. Your grandma may have just passed away. You have to give yourself grace in those times. I had lost two of my absolute best friends in a span of 2.5 months, and I gave myself grace. But I also kept in mind, what do I need to do? What's important to me? So you have to meet yourself at your mental capacity and give yourself that grace and that time to heal and process, but realize that it's just a phase, but you can't stay there. So the biggest advice that I possibly can have is get clarity. Write it all out. What's going on? What's preventing you from getting to the gym? What can you optimize? Is it that you can't sleep at night? Is it that you feel stressed? Do you feel mentally overwhelmed? Just name the problem and then find a remedy for it. And that's all you need to do. And like Sparty said, the little compounding adds up tremendously. So like you're kind of going to be untouchable after a little while just by doing like the daily wins. Just win the fucking day. You don't have to worry about a month, a year. Just win the day, and that's all you got to do.
Do you think that, or would you say is the biggest struggle for people into getting started with the gym? I always personally say if you want to start changing your life, you start hitting the gym because it forces you to be disciplined. It forces you to take an action plan. But I think a lot of people struggle to get to the gym or stay consistent with it. Why do you think it is that people can't stay consistent with it?
Yeah. I think it's just unfamiliarity, like with the gym, like they feel uncomfortable, they're not used to it. Also, and I think this is the biggest thing is that my clients will be shocked like when they come to me because I'm not like, this is this is the start of hell for you. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not like that. There's no, and you know this too, man. Like I think the biggest thing was when I would come to you for coaching, it wasn't like, let's hit a whiteboard and we're gonna go over every single thing. You're gonna do this every single second of every single day. It was like you're like, I'm gonna put the fire out right now. We're just gonna win today. That's all we're gonna do. Like all we're gonna do is win today. If you go to the gym 5 minutes, and I'm sure maybe you've read Atomic Habits, going to the gym for 5 minutes. Next day or 2 days later, going for 6 minutes, going for 10 minutes. Let's win at life. Let's get this to be like implemented into our lifestyle versus like this yo-yo diet. People like January 1st, it's like I'm gonna go every day for 45 fucking days. And then it's like they don't go again because it's like they're so burned out and disgusted by the process. The easier you are on your brain to like kind of slowly like just slide it in a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, the more likely you are to stick with it versus like this yo-yo diet. It's like if you told me to go out and talk to 40 girls one night, yeah, I may do it one night to get my confidence back or whatever. But I'm not gonna do it the next night and the next night and the next. But if you tell me just like, dude, just say hi to one girl. Just like walk by and just say, hey, how's it going? And build on that. Dude, simple shit, man. Just stack the wins, start small, like make it achievable, tangible. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So personally, and I don't want to necessarily talk all about myself, but I'm having a goal this year. I guess I didn't start my goal on January 1st, but at some point I had a goal was to hit the gym or do some sort of physical activity every day for the rest of it, just for a year, right? I just want to go whole year, do something physical, whether it be weight training, whether it be cardio, something, right? And there are some days I simply do not have time to do anything. For example, I had plans to go to the gym yesterday, have a good hour long workout, and my dad surprise visited me. did not have any time to do
Yeah.
any physical activity. So but I made a commitment to myself that I would do some sort of physical training. And what I did was when my dad came through, we hung out and I just dropped down and did 100 push-ups. Call it douchey, call it whatever it is, but I was like, I made a
No.
commitment myself to just do something, right?
It's awesome.
5 minutes, that's all it was. And I think that consistency of just like, okay, even though it's only 5 minutes, it's still something. So I think that's crucial.
Dude, that's massive. And that's what I was gonna say is I remember going to the gym one time and I was like maybe like 17, 18 years old and I was like the young guy in the gym and I'd been hitting the weights and there was this older dude who I'd like become friends with who was just like diesel. I used to ask him like, what he was eating, like what he was, his workouts and shit like that. And he's like, man, I haven't seen you in a little while. Like, where you been? I'm like, oh man, I haven't had time. I'm fucking 18 years old. You know what I mean? I don't have any responsibilities, nothing. And he's like, you don't have 30 to 45 minutes a day to do something. And I'm like, shit, when you put it like that. And it has always stuck with me since I was like 18 years old, which is like fucking forever ago. You know what I mean? Just a lifetime ago. And that's the biggest thing, man. It's like 100 push-ups, do something. And it's like also your subconscious mind is like, no, I made a promise to myself. This is what we do now. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
huge.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that that guy. I don't know if you want to shout him out at some point. You can, but I don't. That gym guy. The funny thing is, he says you don't have time to go to the gym for 30 minutes. So I think it's important when someone tells you I don't have time for anything in life. You could just respond with you don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You don't have time for that. I think that's very crucial, right? Because everyone has time. It's just where do you want to spend your time? So even when you go into relationships, right? You are talking to your wife. You have a relationship with your wife, and you're kind of ignoring her, and she wants to go on a date, and you're like, no, I got to focus on work. I got to focus on work. I got to focus on work. So you don't give her time. But, she complains, you don't change anything, and then she files for a divorce. You have time to go to the divorce lawyers. You have time to fight out every penny that you can get, but you didn't have time to make your relationship work. So you just didn't have time for her. So every time someone's like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time. Well, you don't have time for that. You're prioritizing something else. So what are you prioritizing? And it goes back to the quick dopamine hits that is so common that we're dealing with now. Scrolling TikTok, Netflix, Pornhub, all that shit is taking away from the time that you could be taken to get better. Think about it. If you stop scrolling for 30 minutes, you could go to the gym. You could do a very efficient workout in 30 minutes, but most people don't do it. So it's if you can eliminate some of the bad habits that you have, you can make time. So I don't know what that is for people, but one of the things that I do is I just set a calendar and I'm going to try my best to stick by that calendar. That doesn't mean you can't be flexible. That doesn't mean a meeting's not going to go over, but try the best to stick to a calendar and block off at least to start 15 minutes to go for a run or something.
Dude, you knocked that out of the park. I think the people like what they don't understand about dopamine is like legitimately hijacking your brain. You're fucking up your rewards pathway, and these rewards pathway are meant to like keep us alive and reproduce. And that's like the biggest thing is like pleasure and the avoidance of pain. But people don't understand that there's like a limited amount of like receptors that you can like activate. So they don't realize that like when you watch porn, when you watch Netflix or like binge watch Netflix or binge eat or all of these different things you're using up all your dopamine versus like if you were to restructure that to like, wow, I just fucking won today. I had like three client calls, you know, I sold a client. Like that's real dopamine. And that's like something that like real men like have is set out for tangible goals, not the easy access dopamine, but like, no, man, I just hit a 45-minute workout and hit the fucking sauna after. Like I feel great, dude. And guess what,
Yeah.
man? It translates to dating because it's like if you're sitting in your mom's basement, you feel like a fucking loser, and then you flip on Pornhub and you're tugging it in your mom's basement. You know what I mean? It's like you're not gonna go on a date all confident, bro. It's like get your ass in the gym and I'm not trying to be like Goggins ask, and that's not what we are. We're not Navy SEALs, we're not in the Marines, but like I will tell you it translates to absolutely everything. And if dudes in the fucking 1800s could be saying the same shit, they would. Like, so it's crucial, man.
Yeah. And the funny thing about porn is I always say if you're watching porn, you're basically getting cocked because you're
Yeah, I said that the
masturbating.
other day, dude. I'm like, why am I like I don't know. That's so funny, dude. It's like you're watching the
You
dude fucking other girl, you know,
Yeah, you're watching a dude fuck the girl that you want to fuck,
and you're in
and
the
you're just
corner.
masturbating to it. You're
Yeah,
basically in the fucking corner on the couch.
100%, dude. You might
It's
as well
like,
pop up
dude,
a
come
chair,
on.
dude. And
Don't you
and
want
VR
be
one
the
day.
man who can fuck that girl?
Mhm.
Just be the man to fuck that. It's just like you don't need to watch someone else fucking do that. It's just come on, man. You're just it's lowering your value. It does so much wrong for your mental capacity. And
Oh
hey,
yeah.
I'm not saying I've never watched porn before. I have.
No, no, no,
But
no. Yeah, we all been there,
But
but
I'm just saying, like, I'd rather have a girl that I can physically be with than and be the guy that has like a great girlfriend or a couple of girls that he's sleeping with or whatever, right? Whatever you
yeah,
choose to do, then be the guy who's kind of lazy and then just like, I'm gonna go yank it to
yeah,
Johnny
let the dude
Sins.
fuck another chick. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
exactly.
the real man bang another chick, which is like very cocky, dude. It's like because it's low status behavior, dude. I can't remember. I was watching. Oh man, how did you say it? You probably wouldn't even remember it because you make so many videos, but you're like it's like low status Sesame Street behavior, dude. And it was like the funniest fucking quote I had ever heard in my life. And I'm like, so like that's kind of like, well, you talk about it like when you ask someone a question, it's a state change, and you know this. Anyone knows this is snap. Like you have like your amygdala that you think of, and I don't want to get like over technical. But you have your amygdala, which is like your fight or flight, essentially. And then you have your prefrontal cortex, which is like rational, like the back is like emotional, like fight or flight, yada, yada, yada. But when you state change, it's like you think from a different lens. You get back to the prefrontal cortex. And that's what people need is like to not think what's so easy, survive, survive. Think like, is this conducive to the man that I want to fucking be? Is me jerking
Right.
off right now conducive to who I want to become? Is it gonna help me be like more of a ladies' man or find, you don't even have to be a ladies' man. It's not what it's about, but I don't know, man. Um,
Well, think about what your competitor is doing. That's a good way to put it. So think about the guy who wants to fuck your girlfriend, or think
yeah,
about the guy who wants to have the money that you want. What is he doing? Like, let's just even put it into professional football, for example, right? Let's just say you're a quarterback in the NFL and you're about to go to the Super Bowl. Like you're Patrick Mahomes, you're going to the Super Bowl. You're going to have to study and study and study the tape as much as you can to face Jalen Hurts or face Josh Allen, whoever you're facing, because you know that person's doing whatever they can to try to get a competitive advantage. So when you think about your everyday life, think about the competition. Everyone wants to fuck the girl that you want to fuck. Everyone wants the money that you want to have. Everyone wants to dress the way you want to dress, right? It's competition. So is jerking off going to better your odds of achieving the man that you want to become? Is it going to lead you to getting there quicker? No. And I'm not saying people don't slip up. We're all human, right? We're eventually going to eat the chocolate bar. We're eventually going to watch a movie, and we're human. But what you should be thinking is, what is my competitor doing? What is he doing to get ahead? Is he scrolling TikTok for 3 hours? Is he on Instagram? Is he doing all this shit? Or is he not? So if you have a competitor that maybe it's a real competitor, maybe it's an imaginary competitor, maybe it's someone who stole your girlfriend, whoever it may be, you got to think, what is he doing? Is he doing something that's going to make him better than me? So it's an easy way to bring your mind to a focus of let's try to get better. Let's just try to get better today.
yeah, dude, spot on, 100%. It's funny because, dude, you remember the whole situation, and I guarantee at some point this is like gonna be watched by whoever, which is hilarious. But
Yeah.
um, when we first started like talking throughout that whole situation with who, I remember like I was, dude, I was so adamant. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even touch my dick if it begged me right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, I
Yeah.
will not be the dude while she's getting pounded out already in another relationship, like to be sitting
Mhm.
at home like it's just no way. Like I'll go to the gym, I'll run miles, and you just
Yeah.
become. Dude, and people don't even understand. It's like, dude, you go stretch for a little while and you don't fucking think about it and you don't like egg yourself on like, oh my God, it's been a week, it's been a month. It's like, dude, shut up. That means you have nothing more important to do. That means you are solely motivated by that. in that
Hmm.
alone. And it is an addiction. So is TikTok. So is Instagram. So the more that you limit these and control the stimulus by getting it out of your life, dude, your brain can change, dude. It's called neuroplasticity. It's always like firing and wiring together and making new neural connections. And people can choose to fucking live the life and become the person that they want to be by being intentional. So that's
Yeah.
it.
And you know what else I think is huge, Nick, is I think that for men, and it's not spoken enough about, is finding like-minded people. It is hard, and today it is hard to find people who are passionate about self-growth. It really is. And I think if you can find other people who are about it, they can hold you accountable or they'll challenge you. So if like we're on a podcast together and you're saying, you know what, I don't know if I want to go to the gym today. I'm kind of tired. I probably should, but I don't know. And I'm like, well, I'm going to the gym. That's just going to want to make you go to the gym more. It's just knowing someone else is going to go to the gym and it just pushes you because it's like minded people think, just naturally think alike. So if your brother is going to better himself, you're going to want to better yourself too. So whenever my brother, when I was younger, he said, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to work out. Even if I didn't want to, I was hungover, I'd be like, fuck, I got to go now. I just have to. So if you have people in your life who are focused on self growth, whether it be emotionally, stoicism, whatever it may be, it's going to force you to want to grow too. And if you have fucking simps and ducks in your life, you're going to just turn into one of them. So choosing who is in your life is very important. Now, I'm not saying you can't be friends with like people from your high school who decided to live in mom's basement. You can still be friendly with them and hang out with them, but they can't be the core centerpieces. You got to have people who are passionate about what they want to do and what they're passionate about self-development. I think it's so crucial, and I think it's very, very hard to find nowadays. So if you can find it, it's great. And that's the beauty. And I ripped on Instagram earlier, but that is the beauty of Instagram, though. You can connect with people, or we know each other through YouTube, dude. Like you can connect with anyone in the world. It's just kind of on you to try to branch out and find other like-minded people.
Dude, spot on, man. It's community is everything. And we were talking before the podcast started. We're like, man, what if we combine communities? What if we had, and this could be for the viewers to answer. What if we built a community, of just like-minded individuals where we can kind of share stories, share wins, help each other, camaraderie. I think people need that in a time like now more than absolutely ever. I think people are, it's so easily accessible to connect, but people are starving for real, authentic connection. You know what I mean? So I think that's huge, man. And we'll see. Let us know in the comments below if you guys think community would be something that you guys would love, and we can continuously hop on and talk to you guys in live Q&As and do all that. I think that'd be super beneficial. I don't know what your thoughts are, Sparty.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely, and it's good. Just having a team of people together, it's so crucial, and it helps people out. It's a support system, and if someone's going through a tough time, it's good to just be there for someone else. And that's something that I preach, and I know you do too. Is someone leaves a comment on a video or leaves a question or emails us or whatever, we're gonna get back to you, and we're gonna give you an honest deep, deep answer, right? If you're struggling with something or you need help or need to persist through something, we're going to help out. We're going to help out. And this is what's being a part of a team is. We're a family.
Yep.
And blood is thicker than water. So it's extremely important. We're going to be there to support everyone every step of the way.
Yeah, nobody left behind, man. Which gets me into, this is probably one of the best questions that we've had. And I want to go into it, and I think we both can dive into it, but I'm going to ask it to you. What does it really mean to be a man of faith in today's world? How do you balance strength with humility and ambition with obedience to God?
That's a great question. That's a great question. What is it, man? Can you repeat it again?
Yeah,
Because it
yeah,
was so
absolutely.
poetically beautiful.
Yeah. What does it really mean to be a man of faith in today's world? How do you balance strength with humility and ambition with obedience to God?
So
It's
it's
lengthy.
difficult. it's difficult, right? It's difficult because there's so many interchanging aspects going on in today's life, right? There's a lot going on, and you got to realize that life has good and it's got bad. God is going to put some shit in your life and he's going to throw some good in your life. And I think if you try hard and you genuinely give a good effort, he's going to he's going to reward you. If you're proud of yourself every day that you live and you do you genuinely put in good effort to become a better person and grow and develop, God's going to throw some good things your way. So if your focus is to be the best, I don't know, soccer player in high school, and you work out and you train and you run, then eventually, if you're really and you're eating right and you're training hard and you're surrounding yourself with good coaches and you're reaching out to mentors and all of this shit, you are going to go places in your soccer career. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to see humility. If you're a soccer player, you might tear an Achilles and you might have to overcome that. Now, what are you going to learn from it? Yes, it sucks, but maybe you learned that, fuck, I got to stretch. I didn't think about this, right? Nothing is perfect in this world. Every decision you make has benefits, but it also has consequences. So if you're in a relationship and you're dating a really good looking girl and she's really awesome and you really love her, but then you go to a strip club and you go fuck a stripper, you might get away with it or you might get caught. So the consequences are you could get your ass dumped, but the benefits is you get a nut off. So really what it comes down to is the decisions you make, no matter what, are going to have positives and they're going to have negatives. And God is going to show you both. So if you're in a good relationship, there's going to be positives and you might treat her really well. You might get her flowers every day, but she can still dump your ass. You might do one thing wrong and she could still dump you. That's God showing you, hey, there's a mistake somewhere. You got to fix it up. I might not directly tell you what it is, but you're going to find out. And eventually you're going to find out so you don't make that mistake next time. So God is going to do things to show you where your flaws are. He's going to show you. And that's how we learn through pain, through lessons. So it's important. It's important to acknowledge that nobody's perfect. We're human. And as hard as someone might come off, as hard as I might come off in a video, I'm still human and I fucking deal with pain, man. I deal with it. But I don't sit down. I've grown every time some sort of challenges came to my life, just like you have, Nick.
Yeah, man. No, that's huge. If I, yeah, I mean, that's it. I think if I could answer it in any way, it's the fact that, you're born with free will, and not to get like overly religious, but you're born with free will. Obviously, like Jesus in the Bible said, like pretty much to sum it up is like life is going to be hard. Like this is not heaven. You have free will. It's a mix of heaven and hell, and you have to realize that everything that's happening to you is not always God. It's like, you know what I mean? Like your car breaks down, whatever. It's not like God, like, what, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, why are you fucking with me? You know what I mean? It's like not him just like trying to smite you, but there are certain instances and a lot of instances where he's trying to teach you a lesson. And if you think about it, if you have a baby who's like learning how to walk and he stumbles and falls down, and every single time you just put him back on his feet, put him back on his feet, it's likely that he's going to turn into a needy little kid. Versus what if he builds the resiliency to get back up on his own every single time until he learns how to walk? You have to, as much as it might hurt, as much as you might want to like help your kids and be that sort of parent that's like always there, always for your kid in that instance, you have to let them learn on their own and go through their own challenges as well. And it's kind of like how I see it with God and us is that it hurts him to watch us stumble and fall, but he knows that in the long run, this is part of the plan that we are on Earth. And the biggest thing is that we're like, dude, Sparty, how fast did 29 years go in our lives? You know what I mean? Like it's insane. We're here for a finite amount of time, bro. And then we have eternity after. So what you do here does matter. And I know people are like, well, life isn't that long anyway, so fuck it, I'll just, whatever. No, man, this count. Be as good of a man as you possibly could be. Just try to uplift others, be a good person, be authentic, be a good Christian. That's what matters more than anything. That's how you're obedient to God, is that through everything you continue to live for Him at the focal point of your life. So, um, that's it, man. That's my answer to it.
Yeah, that's you said it so beautifully. You painted such a good picture on it. You know, you do only have a finite amount of time on this earth. That being said, your time on this earth will affect the future forever. It affects the future forever. So you could, for example, throw a rock into a woods, forget about it, right? And that rock could make a somebody trip, break their nose, and you don't know what the sequence of events that could happen from that is. Your decisions today will affect people's lives in thousands of years to come, millions of years to come. So that's important to know. So your time is very, very important. Your decision today is going to affect millions of people. Us being on this podcast, no matter how many views it gets, one person sees this podcast and it's going to change their life in some way, shape, or form. They see the podcast and they say they either get something from it or maybe they watch it and then they kind of forget about what's said, whatever it may be. They still took time to watch the podcast. That time they could have used that time to either go to the gym or maybe they could have masturbated. Maybe they could have gone and hung out with a friend. Maybe they could have gone on a date. They could have done something else with their time. If they chose to go on a date instead of watch the podcast, that's fine. But the fact that they watched the podcast is leading them into a different realm of life. It's a different trajectory. That trajectory now is going to affect other people that they now come across who affects other people that they come across. So the spiral effect and the branches that come from one decision that you make is eternal. It will always be eternal, and that's the beauty of free will. Free will, it's you get to choose what you're doing. You're on this earth and you have the decisions to be the best man you can be. You could be a bag of dirt. You could go run over someone with your car if you wanted to, or you could be a genuine person. And that's up to you, which is the beauty of life. Now, the unfortunate part of it is some people are fucking assholes. Some people fucking suck. Some people will cheat on their wives, or some people will fuck their friends over. They'll snitch, whatever it may be, but it's their decision at the end of the day. And your decisions come with consequences, and that's just part of life. But that's also the beauty of life too. So you can't control what people do. You can't control what other people around you do, but you can control what you can do. And that's the important thing, is to control what you can control. And that's what stoicism is. Control what you can control. And what can you control? Your mind. That's the one thing that you can truly control. You cannot know whether or not your heart stops beating tomorrow. You don't know, but you can still be mentally strong and say, "Okay, fuck, I broke my leg. I'm still gonna get up, do what I can do to train with my arms. I'm gonna still call my mom and dad, tell them how much I love them. I'm gonna call my brother. I'm gonna call my friends. I'm gonna text my friends. I'm gonna appreciate the support. And you can do the things that you can control. So anything that you just do, you should be trying to be the best version of yourself. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, fucking knocked it out of the park, dude. Knocked it out of the park. Control what you can control, win the day, focus on how, don't even focus on it, but avoid the victim talk. Think about, what am I grateful for? What do I have? What can I still do with the resources that I have? Be fucking resourceful. It's one of the greatest things that you possibly could be. Have an iron mind, build it up. It takes time. None of us are a work like a finished product. We're always a work in progress. Uh, I'm just excited, man, because whether it's 1, 5, 10, 20, 100 people that watch this, it's going to compound. And we are going to get an opportunity to hear from so many amazing people and get an opportunity to hear their journeys over time. And that's going to be the coolest part. So,
Yeah.
anything you have in closing, brother?
No, I'm just super fucking excited, man. It's great to link up and get this thing going. It's been a long time coming, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see all the lives that are just improving or where we can help out, how even people we're helping out, how they can help improve our lives, man. Anything, this is about to be a fucking awesome community. We're all gonna fucking crush it. I'm super excited and a lot more to come. Super fucking stoked.
Dude, we're just getting the ball rolling. And again, man, we're the ones running this podcast, but we learn as much from you guys as you guys maybe learn from us. I mean, remember that no matter if it's the server at work, the janitor, someone you run into at a gas station, be humble enough to hear their story, be humble enough to take the lessons that they have in life because everybody that's been through some shit has the wisdom and the life lessons. So that's the biggest thing, brother.
Yeah, man. You know, till the last breath on your earth, you have the opportunity to grow and get more wisdom. What you know is limited, but what you don't know is limitless.
Right.
So we got
100%.
a lot to learn, a lot to come. Super thrilled.
That's it, man. Well, cool, brother. So I think we'll get going on the next one. We'll get this one posted and then we'll just keep it rolling. We'll talk more about the community. I think that's gonna be good as soon as we start to get, some people that are riding with us. So I'm excited, brother. I'm super pumped, man. I think this is gonna be awesome. Long time coming. So
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
all right, you guys. Well, thank you for coming to the first episode of the Man to Man podcast. We look forward to seeing you in future episodes. Please feel free to DM either of us, Spartacus Fortune on IG, is
Hmm.
that right?
Yep.
And then Nick Salmon 27 or Better Self by Salmon, whichever you guys prefer. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to us. We'll get back to you at some point, hopefully as soon as possible. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.